friends and neighbors, this is Chuck out at Sheraton Park Farms. Welcome back to the farm. It's a cold winter day in western North Carolina. We've been inside working on chicken tractors today, getting ready for spring. But there's another important thing that we need to be doing, getting ready for spring, getting ready for markets, and just getting our word out. So hang out with us for a little bit, and let's talk about 6 marketing things that you need to be doing on your farm to grow your business. Hang around with us. Chicken tractors. So what gave me the idea for this video is a couple of days ago, a co-worker of mine posted on Facebook that they were looking for some heavy cream, and their local Walmart and Harris Teeter or whatever the local grocery store was out, and they couldn't find it. And I had another friend that had commented back on that post and said that they were in the same boat, that they couldn't find it at their local grocery store either. And so that got me to thinking about, are there any local farms in their area that might have the product that they're looking for? Quick Google search and found a couple of options. And so I shared that back with them. But that got me to thinking about, are us as local small farmers, are we hidden? And are we out of the public's eye and not marketing ourselves and getting in front of folks so that folks even know that we exist? And so that got me to thinking about, what are some things that we can do as small local farms to market ourselves, get our name out there, get the word out that we're in the community and that we have a lot better quality product available, and sometimes things that folks might not be able to find. And so got some notes, and I'm going to try to share some examples on the screen of what we've done using these types of strategies to market our own farm and what we do here. So, marketing strategy number 1: you got to have a website. A website does a couple of things. Number 1, it adds, in today's world, it adds an air of legitimacy to your operation. It gives folks something that they can go look at on their own time in the privacy of their own home, or if they're out shopping, wherever, they can go look at your farm. They can interact with you in that way by seeing photos, reading a description about who you are, reading a description about the way that you raise your animals, reading a description about the products that you carry. So having that website adds an air of legitimacy to your farm and what you do. Some other advantages to having a website is that it becomes a landing page for other things. If you're selling merchandise, if you're doing farm tours, if you have an online store, you've got to have that presence of a website to get that kind of thing started. So the first thing that you need to do in terms of marketing your website, whether you're a new farm or whether you've been in farming for a while and you're trying to get some direct to customer marketing going, you've got to have a website. The second thing, you've got to be on social media. In my estimation, you've got to have a social media presence in today's world. Beware of, and we'll talk about how to combat this in a second, beware of deplatforming. Nowadays, there's, and you can put your own political spin on it however you want to, there is some concentrations of power in the social media and the online world. So be careful of deplatforming. And what I mean by that is sharing pictures of things that may be upsetting to some folks, like the actual processing of animals. Some of those kinds of things can get some complaints, can get you deplatformed, or can get you at least banned from a platform for a little while. Just be aware of that. Be aware of what you're posting and keep that in the back of your mind. That's the danger with social media. But everybody's on social media, and you have to communicate with people where they are. Whether it's Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, you've got to tell a story, and you've got to communicate with those folks in a way that they can, in a place where they can see you, and in a way that gives them an understanding of who you are. So telling a story about, how we got our first batch of meat chickens in, and how we went through the brooding process, and how we raised them out on pasture and moved them every day, and the types of feed that you used, and how you got those animals to the point of processing, and then where you're going to be selling them. Tell a story. Tell a story about, one of your animals getting out, but, make that interesting to folks so that they want to come back and learn about you and read more and see more about what's going on in your farm. So you got to tell stories. Be responsive, and as you grow and get bigger, this becomes a little bit of a challenge. Sometimes we don't do a real good job of being responsive, like comments that you guys leave. Sometimes we don't respond to those, but I guarantee you we read every one of them. But try to be as responsive as you can and build a community and build a feeling among your fans of this connection to who you are, to your farm, what you're raising, and what you're doing out there. Pick a platform and learn that platform. Don't try to go all in on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat, TikTok. Don't try to go in on all of those platforms all at once. Pick one, learn that platform, get a good presence built there, then move to another platform. Then use each of those platforms to cross-post or to cross-promote what you're doing. So use Facebook to promote, an Instagram post that you've got. Use Instagram to cross-post onto Facebook, but to share that you've got a presence on YouTube. Lots of different ways to do that. I'm certainly not the expert. There are lots of folks out there that can tell you about better ways to do that than I can, but it's an option. Learn a platform and then expand out to other platforms as you go along. Number 3, build an email list. You want to build an email list of contacts and customers and clients that you have that you own. Talked a second ago about deplatforming and a social media platform kicking you off or shutting your page down or closing you down or whatever the case may be. If you will build an email list that you own, if Facebook kicks you off of Facebook, you've still got a list of folks that you can reach out to and contact. You own that. Nobody can take that away from you. So work on building an email list. Now, there are a lot of rules and laws around collecting emails and spamming folks and sending out emails and having the option to unsubscribe and that kind of thing. So you need to be aware of that. But if you're using an email client like MailChimp or Constant Contact, they will build all of those compliance types of things in there with you or for you. So build an email list. This is a great way to share news about your farm. Build out a weekly, bi-weekly, monthly newsletter, whatever the case may be. But having that email list that you can connect with and contact those folks that are interested in your farm and interested in what you're doing, that's super important. And that's also a hedge against being deplatformed on a social media platform. Number 4, got to help them. Now that you have your website set up, you've got a social media account set up on Instagram, Facebook, wherever that may be, and you've got your email list starting to build out, you've got to create some content. This is a great place to start telling those stories that we were talking about a while ago. Telling a story about your kids going out to collect eggs in the afternoon, or tell a story about going to the post office and picking up your new baby chicks. And you can do that in a number of ways. You can do that through the written word in a blog or a newsletter that you're sending out through your email contact list. Photos. People love photos. And Instagram is really Instagram really drives toward the photo side. But high quality, good, clear photos of what you're doing, so that folks that are interested in your farm can see what you're doing. They can see the work that you're doing, the animals that you're caring for, and how you're raising those animals. Create content around that, something for folks to see, read, learn about, and understand how you're doing things on your farm. Number 5, another great way to market your farm is just attend some farmers markets. Find some farmers markets in your area that you're interested in, and we've talked about this in other videos. Now, with it being wintertime, off season, for us, this is the time that we're evaluating our farmers markets and deciding, do we want to pick up a new market, or are we staying with the markets that we've been? But farmers markets are a great way to, especially early on, to market your farm, get your products out there, start meeting folks. It's a good way to build your email client list by having folks sign up for your email list, having a weekly giveaway for those folks that sign up. And it's a great way. It is the way. Well, it's not the only way, but it's a great way to get some revenue rolling, to get some cash flow going. Sandra and I say, there's an old saying that sales cures all, and there's a lot of truth to that. When things get kind of rough, you go have a good farmer's market day, and it really changes your outlook. But it's a good way to win some fans, get some customers going, that are buying some products, let them go out, let them be your marketing team for you. If you can get a couple of customers that are sold out to your products, sold out to your farm, sold out to buying your stuff, and they can tell their friends and they tell their friends, word of mouth, that's a great way to get your farms built up, to get your farm business built up. But you've got to be in front of folks, and farmers markets are a great way to get in front of folks. Good way to find markets in your area, just do a Google search, farmers markets within 50 miles, and then start reaching out to those markets about becoming a vendor. Get their vendor application, find out what the rules and regulations are, talk to the market manager, see if they've got some openings or is there a wait list, or we've gone into markets to sell meat where there were no meat vendors there, and so it was just a wide open opportunity to go in and get started. So farmers markets, number 5, that's a great way to get your marketing started for your farm. Number 6, aggregation sites. Let me talk a little bit about that for a second. Aggregation sites are websites that collect information about farms so that when folks go to those websites, they're looking for a farm within 50 miles of their address. The aggregation site will show them farms that are within that area, and then there are lots of different ways you can slice and dice the searching. You can search for dairy, you can search for meat, for vegetables, you can search for pastured poultry. Depending on the site, there's different ways to do that. Search out some aggregation sites and get your farm information out there. This is kind of a tough way. It's kind of tough to tell what the success of that is, but we've actually had some sales. And one of our common practices is if somebody comes to the farm or reaches out, not in the market, how did you find out about us? And we've had some folks that told us that they found us on some of these aggregation sites. Local Harvest is one that we're on. Another one is Eat Wild. And I'm sure there are others, but the Local Harvest one is the one that we're on. Also here in North Carolina, there's an NC Farms app. We've got a presence on that app. And our information is listed there. Lots of folks that are looking for pastured poultry or pastured pork will go to that NC Farms, and we've had a number of customers show up on those, that found us there. So aggregation sites, another opportunity to get your farm message out, get your name out, and touch some folks that might be interested in looking for your products. So that's 6 ways that we've come up with that are pretty simplistic in terms of marketing your farm and getting your word out. Again, we're not experts on marketing, but I've got a resource for you that I think might really be able to help. A few weeks ago, we won a drawing with Stockman Grass Farmer for access to one of their, I think it was the Multispecies Grazing School by Greg Judy. We've been Stockman Grass Farmer subscribers for a couple of years now, and frankly, I read that publication cover to cover every month. So we reached out to those folks and said, hey, we've got a YouTube channel. A lot of folks that are following us that do things the way that we do or are interested in farming the way that we farm. Do you guys have something that maybe we could offer to those folks that would be beneficial to them? So we talked with the folks over there, and right now they're giving a 10% off on the Stockman Grass Farmer Graizer's Marketing School. It's the Sheraton Park Farms Friends and Neighbor Special. 10% off the cost of that course, and they're going to give you the first module free. Listen, this is a fantastic program that talks about why we should be direct marketing, why marketing matters. Joel Salatin does the lion's share of work in this course, talking about buying clubs, pricing. Pricing is another thing that we get a ton of questions on. Joel does a great job of going through here, talking about how you should be pricing your products, scaling up, and social media. So they cover all the things plus some stuff that we've talked about. In addition to that, they're going to give us 2 bonuses, the Graizer's Marketing Bundle and Metro Buying Clubs and how to tap into that. So a lot of great content over there. And again, they're going to give us 10% off for folks that use the link, and we're going to include that link in the description down below. And also I'm going to try to pin that to the first comment. So go over there, sign up, at least get that first module free. Go through that first module. That's the Why Direct Marketing Matters with Joel. Go over there, take a look at that. Doesn't cost you anything, no obligation. And then if you like what you see, go ahead and sign up for the rest of the class, and they will guarantee if you don't feel like you got the value out of that course, they're going to give you your money back. So Stockman Grass Farmer, we appreciate them partnering with us, excited to be working with them on some future stuff. So I'm going to leave the link in the description down below. Go over and check that out. So there it is, our 6 tips for simple marketing, things that you should be doing on your farm to get your word out there. And also, don't forget that link for the Stockman Grass Farmer Graizer's Marketing School. I've started going through that, ton of great information, and we're learning some stuff on that and are going to be implementing some of their strategies in our marketing coming up this year. But anyway, I think that's going to do it. I know we hadn't done a video in a few days. We've had a lot going on here. I've had some stuff going on for work, but we appreciate y'all watching. Please remember to keep us in your prayers. May God bless you and your families, and we'll see you on the next video. Thanks.